Morning, everyone. Welcome into a special edition of the Morning Edge. It is Sunday, but we're still going to work here. Round of 32, the final day of the first 4 days of the tournament. So a lot to get into. Pretty even day overall on the picks yesterday. Went 2-2-1, juiced out a little bit, lost a little bit, but we're going to be back to work today with a beautiful looking slate. So let's get right into it. First game I'm going to go with is actually in the NIT. So we're going to cross over here real quick and look at the NIT. I'm looking at a game, Liberty versus Wisconsin. I'm going to take Wisconsin here, -3. Just remember, for NIT games, they do play these games at their home court. I like Wisconsin in this spot. They looked pretty good in their first game. They looked pretty motivated in their first game. Liberty's a solid team here, but I think the way Wisconsin matches up, kind of their grinding out style of play, if they can force their pace of play here, I expect them to get it done and kind of outlast them in this game. Second pick I'm going to go with will be Kentucky on the money line over Kansas State. So when you look at this line, Kentucky obviously the lower seed here, but they're a 2.5 point, even a 3-point favorite some places. So the way this line looks, to me, it's a Kentucky play all the way. I think the average person is going to look at this line, look at they're getting points with a higher seed, a better team, and take that. Kansas State is a public dog. We know we love to fade public dogs. I like the way Kentucky's playing right now. They looked really good in that first round game against Providence from a defensive standpoint. I think that's what's going to be more key in this game. We know that they could score the basketball. It's going to be how can they play on the defensive end. And when you look at Kansas State, very good team. Where do they struggle a little bit in the paint? I don't know if they're going to have an answer for Oscar Tshiebwe in this game. Kentucky has really solid guard play. We know they're extremely talented. If they're shooting well from distance, they could run away with this game. Kansas State, meanwhile, again, I just don't know if they have the paint presence to match Tshiebwe and match his presence on the glass. Kentucky, obviously, a great rebounding team led by him. So that should be a good game, but I do think Kentucky squeaks by. I'm going to take them with the money line there. I could see it being a bit back and forth, but overall, I think they get it done. Then I'm going to go to a player prop. I'm going to look at Aiden Mahaney of St. Mary's. So this kid's come on. He's the main reason that they had a really good season. One of the most talented freshmen really in the nation. Kind of overlooked. Plays at St. Mary's. Maybe people don't get to watch him a lot, late night there on the West Coast. But if you have seen his game, if you're familiar with his game, you know how good of a player he is. If St. Mary's has any chance to win this game over UConn today, Mahaney's going to have to be the main reason why. And 10.5 points here, we're not asking a lot. I mean, we're just asking the guy to score 11 points. UConn's a team that does play with some pace. They are a really solid defensive team, but I think that this game is going to be in the favor of UConn when it comes to pace. I think UConn wins this game, so I think that this game's going to turn into a little bit more of a track meet than a rock fight, which St. Mary's likes to play, that lower, shorten up possessions in a game, kind of grind you out and beat you that way. UConn, meanwhile, even though they are a really good defensive team, they have a much more explosive offense. St. Mary's is going to have to match that somehow. I think this is the guy that can do it. Again, just 11 points here. We're not asking a ton. This is on DraftKings Sportsbook at -130. So I think Mahaney gets going in this game. I think he gets over this number, and we can cash that in. Last but not least, I'm going to go with Miami, Florida money line here at +112. Listen, Miami's a team that I have talked about for a long time, getting on a run, making a Sweet 16 push, making an Elite 8 push. I think Miami surviving Drake in the first round was what they needed. I think that first game was their most difficult game. If they could get past Drake, because the style of play Drake plays with is not how Miami plays at all. We just talked about teams that like to grind you out, shorten up games. That's Drake. Miami, meanwhile, they want to be more in a track meet. This is kind of, in my opinion, a better matchup for Miami than Drake was. I actually think they match up better here with Indiana. Trace Jackson-Davis, he's always going to be a tough cover, but Miami has a big that can match him, I think, make his life tough. And when it comes to guard play, I give Miami that advantage. So if Miami can come out, shoot the ball well tonight. Remember, Isaiah Wong, he played horrific in that first game, and they still were able to survive it. They shot the ball like 20-something% in the first half, and they still overcame it. That shows you how good of a team Miami is and how they can win playing multiple styles of play. But I think this will be in their favor today. At plus money, we have to take a chance on Miami. So that's going to be it for today, guys. It's going to go through a few picks, 4 picks for the video plays. Let's get back in the green today, and we will see you guys back here on Monday.